Welcome back to the channel, and today we are in episode 2 of our rebuild series with the Texas State Bobcats. In our last episode, we covered a host of things from roster construction, our recruiting board, to settings on what we're going to play in this dynasty. So be sure to check that one out if you haven't yet. But today we are beginning to our very first game against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. We are the better team on paper, so hopefully we can get a big win, our first win as the head coach of the Bobcats. But before we get into the game, we need to cover some things that we decided to do in some downtime. The first thing we did is change our playbook, and we are going to be going with the Penn State power spread offense. There's a few reasons for this. One, it spreads the defense out to allow runners or running backs get into open lanes and get some big yards on their carries. And two, it helps us use dual threat quarterbacks. We have two dual threat quarterbacks on our roster. They're a little bit rated below our starting quarterback and Holden, but throwing them in there, keeping our guys fresh is going to be very beneficial for us. And thirdly, it's just one of the coolest playbooks in the game, and I really wanted to use it. It has a ton of trick plays, a ton of different things that you don't see in a lot of other playbooks. It's probably also one of the best playbooks as well. It's always going to throw a wrench in defense's game plan, so it's always good to have that in your back pocket. But we decided to stick with 4-2-5 defense, though. A big proponent of this is because our linebacking room is just terrible. I don't think we have a single player that is rated over 70 overall, and if we do, it's just right at that threshold. So I want as little linebackers on the field at one time as possible. So we're sticking with 4-2-5, and also we just need a bunch of help up front trying to get to the quarterback. A bunch of our defensive tackles not rated very well, so this is going to be a way to kind of help mitigate that. Put 4 guys down there instead of something like a 3 set down there. So hopefully that'll help us throughout this season. And the second thing we did, a big change here, is that we are going to be promoting Greg Burrell to the 2 spot. I want to get him as many touches as possible and to see him on the field as much as possible. He's not as rated highly as Burgess Jr., but I think giving him playing time will hopefully keep him here for the long haul and keep him happy here at Texas State. With transferring being such a vital thing this year and just being so volatile, and it's going to screw you up here and there, those guys that we have the chance to keep, we need to put all our chips in the pot and hopefully try to keep them. So we're going to move him up to the 2 back behind Lincoln Pare, however you pronounce it. I'm going to mispronounce things a ton, but we're going to move him to the 2 spot, the second backer here, and hopefully he's going to get a ton of touches and hopefully going to be able to get a ton of yards and stay with us for the next few seasons. And thirdly and lastly, we decided to change manual progression XP to do it manually, and we reduced the penalty to 0. I don't really foresee using the 25% penalty as a reduction to being such an issue. As long as we don't put a ton of points into one category, we'll be fine. And we're going to manually track that. We're not going to, throw all of our points into speed stat on wide receivers and running backs just so we have the fastest guy. We're going to try to build up, 1 or 2 or 3 of their abilities that align with their archetype. So we're going to stick with that. We're going to manually progress most, maybe not all players. We'll probably auto progress a ton of players. So we're not going to do every single one, but we're going to do, 5, 10, 15 guys that we really want to see and hopefully prosper into something great and utilize them that way. So with that out of the way, you are up to date now on the dynasty as of right now. So we're going to jump into the Eastern Michigan game and see if we can take home the first win in our head coach's tenure here at Texas State. And then we'll touch on recruiting at the end of the episode. So I hope you enjoy. If you do, like this video down below. It helps out the channel a ton. And hit the subscription button if you're not subscribed yet. It helps the channel grow, and I would appreciate it, guys. But let's go ahead and jump into this game. And we are finally here. Our very first game as the head coach for the Texas State Bobcats. This will hopefully be the first win in a long and storied career as we look to bring the Bobcats back to national title contention over this long play series. So I hope you all enjoy, and without further ado, let's get into some gameplay as we look to take down the Eagles in the first matchup of the season. And with this, the first kickoff of the 2025 season will be received by Anderson, our wide receiver, as he's hopefully trying to find a hole, but he's not able to. He will get us out to the 23-yard line. Our first look at our head coach. A first look at our impact players for the season, Lincoln Pare and Khalil Alexander. We're going to need big games out of both of those guys if we're going to find success today and throughout the rest of the season. But the first play of the first drive of the season will be an RPO pass out to Anderson after he took the kickoff, but for a loss of 1 this time. 2nd and 11 now for the Bobcats. Will go to Pear through the gut. He tries to find a hole, but after bouncing around a few times, he will be able to find 4 yards on that carry. Another drop back for a pass, but Lions across the middle. Our big tight end will get us the first down. 2nd and 11 now. This time a screen. The blocks are there for him, but just not enough to get that first down. 3rd and 1 here as we will look to go back to the well. Pear is going to be a vitally important part of the offense this season. We're going to use him a ton, trying to find out if we can have success on the ground every game, and we will be able to get the first down there on a 4-yard carry. Picking up here at 2nd and 8. Drop back to pass. A little fake screenplay is going to get us some yards. Burgess Jr. on the reception. 22 yards so far for Greener in the quarterback slot. He's a decent quarterback, pocket presence type of quarterback, so hopefully he can get us a ton of big yards throughout the series. But out to the flat is going to be Paris. He gets us the first down. 2 receptions today for 21 yards as we're looking to move down the field on the way to hopefully a scoring possession this drive. 4 minutes left on the clock. Drop back to bat. Hit as he throws. As Lions will bring that in, but only for a yard. That was a big hit on our quarterback. We're going to have to try to protect him a little bit better throughout the rest of this game. Pear had the hole there, just wasn't able to get that quick step. We'll have 13 yards so far on 5 carries. Into the flat off the screen. Pear slows down and gets the blocks, and he has nobody in front of him. And that will be a touchdown, the first of the season, the first of the series, as Pear had great field vision there as he was able to just slow down enough to allow his 2 big linemen out there ahead of him to get the blocks necessary as he will cross the touchdown threshold with nobody in sight. As we'll get another look at it here. The cutback and then cutbacks again, a little zigzag on there to get us the first points of the season as we will take the 6-0 lead. Call it 7 as we will put it up through the uprights. That was a long possession there from the Bobcats as they went for 7 minutes and 14 seconds as we will get the first look at the Eagles. Noah Kim, the quarterback, will be hopefully trying to lead the Eagles to a scoring possession, get some revenge on this possession. But hopefully the Bobcats can get a big stop here. First play of the game will be a run to the right side. Dante McMillan, the 5'10 senior, is going to look to put his stamp on the game as Kim, off balance, finds his receiver across the middle for the big first down, as the Bobcats won't be able to get a stop there as Eastern Michigan will go back-to-back on good plays as McMillan fights off a few tacklers and is able to find his way across that first down line as the first quarter comes to an end. And you can see the stats, the team stats, the comparisons on screen. The boys were able to drive down the field in a single possession, and the Eagles are looking to do the same to answer back after that touchdown. With the second quarter starting here, McMillan once again gets the ball, spin move, but gets tripped up on the legs of our cornerback. We were very lucky there as he was almost in the open grass. Hopefully not going to touch a touchdown, but the big sack from Bryce Carter will stop them in their tracks. It'll cause a 3-and-out here on the first drive of the game. And that is a big momentum swing as the big defensive edge will get the first sack of the season and his first sack of the game, as we'll get a look of a top-down view of it as he just sheds off his blocker. And he knows that was a great play to swing the momentum our way, as we will get a second possession here. No time, but the Eagles answer back with a big sack of their own. 3rd and 18 on this possession. We're just going to settle for a quick screen play here just to see if we can get some yards back. Grenier drops back, and they are going to be all over that screen with a gain of 2. Looked like it was going to be a loss on that one, but Pear was able to get out of the backfield. A double fake from the quarterback, and off the head of his wide receiver. And that almost was really bad if we had a defender there to pick it off, but nobody within catchability of that. And across the middle, Kim will find his tight end, number 87. And that'll be a 1st and 10 for them as McMillan tries to spin out of it and get some yards. But he'll get stopped at the line of scrimmage. But Bobby Crosby will go down with a shoulder injury. Not sure his reporting yet. Hopefully he's not down for the game. But number 9, Porter Rooks, will shed a tackle and get into the red zone. As the Eagles are threatening, they're going to go a no huddle here. Try to cause some confusion on the defensive side. 1st and 10 now from the 11. Only 11 more yards to gain until they cross that threshold. But we're going to try to stop him here all the time in the world for Kim. And he finds his receiver across the middle. Number 3, Lockett Jr. will get them within 2 yards. As Kim will keep it himself. And he gets it across the line. And that'll be a touchdown for the Eagles, as they will try to tie this up on the extra point. As they answer back in quick fashion. Noah Kim kept it on the quarterback read, and it was a great play. The running back got absolutely destroyed there. It was unfortunate for the Bobcats. Bobby Crosby will be sat down. We'll keep him on the bench for now, hopefully just to not extend that injury, as Pear is getting that upgrade to his 360 spin ability after having a good performance here in the first half. As Anderson will get it on the jet sweep and get us within 1 yard of the first down line, as Pear tries to juke back to fool his defender, but he was there on the tackle. But we'll get the first down regardless. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock as Pear juts back across the middle, and he'll get the first down. A big carry there, 35 rushing yards, 1 receiving touchdown on the game so far. As Grenier will fall back to pass, hit as he throws, and it is going to be too low for the receiver, and that'll be incomplete. 3rd and 9 now. Drops back once again. A little bit of confusion who he was throwing it to, and the receiver wasn't ready as the defender bats it down. Incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs. 3rd and 7, and another big sack at the best opportunity, as they had a receiver open across the middle, as we will have another stoppage here before the halftime. Joe Lejon Landry, number 6, coming with the spin move to get around that tackle on the left side, as we'll get another look at it here from the ground. And he was ecstatic after getting that big sack, hopefully keeping from them driving down the field. But that will wrap up halftime, as the score is tied 7-7, as no one's really pulling away here. But looking at the team spotlight, we have 2 sacks, only 86 yards allowed, no interceptions, no penalties, no yardage. We'll probably have to revise the game time. The game seems to go very, very quick in college football 26, but that's something we can cover after the game. But back here, the Eagles will get the kickoff out of the half, but they are within their own 20-yard line here, as they'll go to the right with McMillan, but he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. He's been pretty productive today, only been stopped a few times without getting some good yardage. Across the middle, Kim will find carry, is tied in for a decent gain of 7. And another keeper for the quarterback, Kim, but that'll be a big hit there to stop him in the backfield for a tackle for loss, for preventing that first down. Pear, another carry to the left-hand side, a gain of 7, as he's looking across that half-century mark on his next carry. 2nd and 3, and we're going to go right back to him as he gets a hit early on, but is able to fall forward and gain some more yards. Empty set this time for the Bobcats. As we drop back to pass across the middle, but he goes deep down the field to Johnson Jr., and it gets batted away. Some bumping there at the end. Thought he got the call, but wasn't able to get the flag. As we drop back, in another sack. 3rd and 20, the 2nd sack of the day for the Eagles. And that is a momentum killer. This time we're going to go to the screen, and they were there. They read that like a book. Gain of nothing. That'll be a 3 and out here for the Bobcats. On to the Eagles once again, as Kim gets pressure, throws it on the run. That'll be too low. Great move to get out of the pocket there under pressure. Just wasn't able to get that ball up enough for his receiver to catch it. A screen this time as he gets a block. McMillan makes his way out to the right-hand side, and he's 2 yards short of that first down. We thought we had that play blown up, but a decent block out there by their left tackle got them the space they needed. McMillan gets past it to linebacker on the rush, and he'll bump off his first tackler, but gets taken down at the 40-yard line, as the Eagles have been pretty good on this drive. Consistent plays every single time. This time, a little RPO bubble action there to the left-hand side, as Kim will pass the century mark, 102 passing yards on the game. 2nd and 4, back to McMillan as he gets 4 or 2 on it after a gain of 2. 3rd and 6 now for the Eagles as they're looking to get the first down. We've been pretty consistent. Kim again under pressure, this time into coverage, and that'll be an interception by Minot as he's going to get some yards back as well. And he had one defender to beat as Carey was able to make that tackle. If he was able to get around him, that was 6. And we'll get a look at the new turnover celebration for the Bobcats this season. What a great play by our strong safety back there, just lurking. Javis Minot was able to just read that perfectly. Even though Kim did a great job getting that out of his hand, it looked like he was going to be able to make the pass, but just too much pressure there. As we will get the ball, as Lions on the reception will drop it. He injured his forearm, causing the fumble, but we were able to recover it. In the confusion, that could have been a big momentum swing if the Eagles were able to recover that one. A nice reception by Anderson under deep coverage as he will shag off the first tackle and is not able to get the first down, but the fake punt won't work out for the Bobcats as they were trying to come up with a little surprise on that trick play, but it didn't work out in their favor as Dante McMillan hits his 10th carry of the day for 32 yards as we enter the final quarter of the game. The game is tied at 7-7. Not a ton of offense in this one. Again, the games go quick in this one. We'll have to revise the settings later, but just over 100 yards both ways. The game tied at 1 score each. Whatever happens in this quarter could be the final nail in the coffin, as the Eagles have it here first. As McMillan up the middle, just short of the line to gain. 4th and 1 will be a 3 and out as the Bobcats will get it for their first drive of the 4th quarter. And who else do they go to other than Pear? He's able to get 3 on it as he gets his 10th carry across the 50 yards per gain, as he gets a huge gain here down to the 42, but he goes down with an injury. He will be taken out of this game. Hopefully that doesn't hurt him for the rest of the season. With the new updates to wear and tear, you can get a season-ending injury like last season, but you can see now with the bars. As our backup, Burrell, is in the game. The freshman gets his first carries on the season. The main guy we're trying to keep around for the long haul, as he gets his 2nd on the RPO. As he will get down inside the enemy territory to the 43, 1st and 10. Across the middle, we'll find Bo Sparks, and he reaches out to get the extra yardage for the first down, his first reception of the game, as Pear, a little bit dinged up, will be back into it. But we're going to change the settings here. We're going to try to keep our running backs fresh. We don't want Pear to get injured, or Burrell, or any of our running backs to get injured for that matter. We only have a few to go around. Another pass as Gurnier throws it across the middle. This time finds his running back, as the dump down to Burrell will get us the first down, as we have 114 yards from Gurnier today on a very good completion percentage, as we'll try to audible here with only 4 seconds left on the clock. And it's going to be a flag on the play, a false start. That one will go against Anfereen Crease, the junior right tackle, our worst rated tackle on the line. As Gurnier drops back to pass it across the middle, be done, Junior! Wide open, as he will take that one in for 6, as the Bobcats get the lead with 5.5 to go left in this game. And that could be the final score, as there's not been much offense today, as Chris Dunn Jr., number 1, gets his first of the season. on that good corner route there, as we'll get another look at it from Gurnier's point of view. Just a perfect throw, stayed composed in the pocket, was able to dish that one out perfectly. As we get a view from Junior's point of view this time, just nobody there. The safety went and protected that comeback route on the left-hand side, and it was not a great go of it, but that was almost blocked there off the right-hand side, but we're able to get it up and through the uprights to give us a 7-point lead as McMillan, with green grass in front of him, gets wrapped up at the ankles. 12th carry of the game for McMillan, 57 yards, as he almost blew that one wide open if we weren't lucky enough to get that tackle across the middle. Big hit there by the sophomore linebacker Aiden Jones, able to blow that play up. A 2nd and 10 now across the middle. Kim finds his receiver once again. 3rd and 2 now. A stop here would be a massive momentum boost for the Bobcats. To the right side, McMillan stopped 2 yards short as Anderson back to return it. Looks to find some green grass, has the hole. Just wasn't able to turn and burn like he needed to. And he'll get tackled at the 28. As Gurnier will come back, RPO action. This time gives it off to Burrell, but he gets stopped in the backfield. Looked like he slipped on some grass there. Wasn't able to get ahead of steam, but he bounces off his tackle and goes out into some green grass, but the defense collapses on him as the Eagles take a time out here with 2.5 left, trying to save as much time as possible. 3rd and 5 now, 1 stop, and the Eagles will get the ball back here. Gurnier under pressure and sacked in one of the most vital parts of the game, as it'll be a turnover or a 3 and out, as the Eagles will get back the ball with a ton of time out to the flat. McMillan will get a gain of 2, and we will enter the 2-minute mark here, as the Eagles will come out of it. 2nd and 8 on their own 43. They just need to drive them down the field for 1 touchdown, but not before we'll get our 3rd sack of the game to put a wrench in their plans. 3rd and 12 now. Khalil Alexander, we talked about him earlier. He needed to have a big game, and he comes through in such a pivotal point at the end of the game when we needed it the most. We'll get another look. He just sweeps off his man with a nice swim move and gets to the quarterback and celebrates a little bit too fiercely. Might have got a flag on that play for taunting, but didn't get it. 1:40 left. Kim, ton of time, finds his man open. Carry over his head, incomplete pass. And they needed that one. 4th and 12, they have to go for it. Kim drops back again, and he's going to find him this time, as he has a ton of grass in front of him, just doesn't have the speed to get away. But they convert on 4th down, and they will have another 3 downs or 4 downs to go here to get it down into the red zone. Kim, no huddle, drops back across the middle, finds number 7, as he'll get taken down. Noah Kim today, 152 yards, 1 touchdown in that big pick by Minot earlier on in that 3rd quarter, as we're about to cross a 1-minute line. Kim moving around in the pocket, finds his receiver once again across the middle. They are using that one as Potts gets his 5th reception of the game. 61 yards so far for him. They'll put him in motion. A double play fake, but not fooled this time, as number 91, 4th sack of the game. 4 sacks both ways for both teams, as they will spike it. 33 seconds left. 3rd and 17. This is where heroes are made, as Kim, does he have enough in the gas tank to get him across the threshold? But he doesn't have it there. 5th sack of the game. Back-to-back sacks. Great coverage out there by our secondary. 1 more opportunity. Kim drops back, ton of time, throws it out to the left-hand side, but broken up, incomplete by Landry. And that will do it, as the boys will go into victory formation, as we get the first win of the season and a defensive showcasing both ways. Player of the game will go to Lincoln Pear, 70 yards on 12 carries. He will have 1 receiving touchdown on the day. Bernier has 2 passing touchdowns as well. Well over 100 yards passing and a great performance. Would have loved to see a little bit more offensive explosion, but a ton of issues early on in that second half where we just decided to go away from the run, which have been working for us most of the game. But I think all around we got the win, and you can't complain about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the recruits we had a chance to look at this week. And as we get out of that big win against Eastern Michigan, we'll take a look at our recruiting. And on the top of the board is going to be Nick Fumagalli, however you pronounce it. He is a good player, and we look like we're the only school to be recruiting him heavily right now. And we are almost into his top 5, and he's hopefully going to be the quarterback of the future. Again, with how transfers are going to work this year, we may see a couple of our top transfers or our top young guys move. And we can see here, looking here, we have Geriner, our starting quarterback right now. He's not at risk to leave, I don't believe. But Luster and Jackson, both of the younger underclassmen, the dual threat guys, are at risk to leave. But with Fumagalli, 86 throw power, decent under pressure stats, short accuracy looks to be very, very good, and also medium accuracy as well, which is what you expect from a pocket passer. And then the second guy we're going to take a look at here is Rodney Isaac, the 3-star athlete who has played both sides of the ball, but is going to probably come in and be a running back for us. The East-West playmaker out of Austin, Texas is very, very close to us. And again, similar situation. It looks like we're the only school really recruiting him right now. We did jump up outside of his top 10 into his #1 spot this week. And looking at this scouting, again, we're only scouting players 40% if you didn't see last episode. That's one of the house rules we built into this series. Another one is that we only have a certain amount of stars we can get per recruiting class based on our program prestige. So that should be on screen right now if you want to look at it. If not, I go into depth more on last video, so go check that out. But looking at Rodney Isaac, decent speed, could be anywhere about the 70 to mid 90s threshold. The awareness is right around that 50 mark. Not great. Catching looks to be pretty good, so maybe he might be more of a catch-focused running back. As we look through the rest of these guys, we'll have some good recruits that look to be like we're the only ones really focusing on right now. Wide receiver should be an easy spot for us to fill. I think we have 5 guys on our board right now that are 3 stars, but with the limitations that we put in for ourselves, it may be a little bit more difficult to fill out this board than we thought. We did get locked out on one of these players, so we'll go ahead and remove them. But I think recruiting all in all this year should be decent. I'm not going to say very good at all or even really mediocre. A lot of these guys that we're going to have to pick up are going to be 1-star players and stuff like that, just so we can fill spots, because we're going to have a lot of guys that lead in the transfer portal. And also we're going to see this class be more rounded out once we get to that transfer portal threshold, since transferring is going to be so vital and so volatile in this series. And a few things to note as we get out of this episode. Quarter length, we increased it to 12 minutes, and we upped that minimum play clock time to 16 seconds. I feel like this should give us a little bit better time on the field. Again, this last game, we just didn't really have enough time on the field. We only really had like 200 yards of total offense, which just is abysmal. Even if it was defensive showcase, I feel like that would be a lot higher. But with that, that'll be the end of our episode. And at the end of the episodes, I'll try to scroll through some of the games that went on in this last week. But with that out of the way, I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Let me know down in the comments what y'all liked and anything I can improve on. I really am enjoying the series. I hope you are too. Leave a like down below if you did. And hit that subscription button if you're not subscribed today. But I'll catch you all in the next one. And a huge shout out to Chris, our very first premium channel member. Thanks for all your support, man. It's really appreciated.